All right, let's do another one of these videos. Today I'm thinking we go over the top 5 performing videos by views and see how much money I made on those, because maybe that's something interesting to show. So we'll start at the channel dashboard. Nothing too exciting about that, but this is what a channel dashboard of 4,500 subscribers looks like. Yay. If there's anything specific here that you're interested in seeing, let me know and maybe I'll do a video on it, but in any case, we're going to the content section. And we're going to look at views. Right now it's scheduled by date, and actually there's a few here that have not been published, or maybe one of these has, so don't look. But we're going to go to view count and go from ascending. So these are my top 5 performing videos. And actually one of these I'm seeing right off the bat is private. Wow, I uploaded that in 2009. How many of you were around in 2009? I don't know how long it was public, but it was privated. I did a purge a while back with a bunch of videos, and that's actually why this second channel is here, because I wanted to post some of them somewhere, but it didn't really go with what I was doing currently on the main channel, so that's what the second channel is for. And there's actually a couple of these here, these top 2, which are public. I left them on there just because they have high view counts and they still get views, so why not? They're still making money, or they're at least trying to make money. I don't know, we'll see. If anything, this is just kind of like a reminder of what this channel, the main channel, used to be, which was for the most part me doing motocross days, track days. So it would have like a video clip of me doing a couple laps, learning the track and learning how to ride motocross. Anyway, we're getting to the first one, which is my crash. And this is actually what ended my motocross career, if you could call it that. This one's a little bit unique in that it has over 100,000 views, but a lot of those views were prior to this channel being eligible for ad revenue. I'm not getting money from those views. Let's go to since uploaded lifetime, and it's made me $95.21 in 10 years. Well, in 2.5 years since I've been eligible to get money. And then my second highest view, which is 109,000, is actually also in that same category. That's almost exactly a year older, in 2014. So this one is over a decade old. So clearly at this time I had a YZ250 and I was swapping out silencers, and I guess I thought it would be interesting to do a video on how loud they are. And I think what I did was I started it with one pipe and then I swapped them out, and then I started it again, and I had my phone on the side showing like a cheapo decibel app, which is probably totally inaccurate having been a decade ago, but whatever. I'm not expecting that much from this. Oh, this was the last month, 29 cents, but let's go to lifetime. $17. Yeah, so that is where you can kind of see how audience retention and time viewed matters. So that other video was like 7 minutes or just under 7 minutes, and I think the audience retention on that one is pretty high, so people watch the whole thing. So they're getting a full 7 minutes worth of viewing time on the website, and this is only 2 minutes. And so because of that, even if someone watches this all the way through, it's still just 2 minutes of video, compared to like if someone was watching half of the other video, which is 7 minutes, so then you're only getting 3 minutes 30 seconds, and that's more than this entire video could even provide. And yeah, if we scroll down here, key moments for audience retention, you can see that the audience retention, or the average view duration, is 1:25, which is pretty high considering that it's only 2 minutes. And the percentage viewed is 69.3%, which is really high. I think my average channel average is like 30 something. And I don't know if that's good or not, but let me know. If you do YouTube, what's your audience retention rate? But anyway, now we get into like what I've been doing the last few years, like actual like YouTube, which was my 1-year review of the Benelli TNT 135. So that's what kind of kicked off the main channel, in that I bought this Benelli TNT 135 as kind of like a fun project because no one really had any information on these bikes, and I figured it would be good to document it. And I had the Honda Grom, so I was familiar with it in the mini moto community, but again, this was kind of like, it wasn't new because it's been around for like a couple years at that point, but there was just no content on it, and I was just curious myself. So I figured I'd just bite the bullet and do that for everyone else. And this is the 1-year review of that. So clearly I had had it for a year, and this is kind of like my summation of thoughts, feelings, experience with all of that stuff. And that one actually did really well. That one I know was like one of the first ones to like blow up, besides like the first impression video, like the very first video. That one also did well, but that's kind of like the nature of those videos. Those are the two that always do well, is a review video and a first impression video, because that's what people want to know. Yeah, so this one definitely does better. It has almost $250 in my pocket, and that's not fully like from I uploaded it, because I uploaded this thing prior to getting 1,000, so I wasn't getting ad revenue on like the first few views, or at least the first few thousand. I think here's July, which is roughly like where I started getting monetized. So 33,000 views I missed out on, which is unfortunate. So this could have been like in the 300s at the very least. We'll skip over this one because it's private, and this one I know for a fact is just 0 because it was never public when I was monetized. But look at that, the next one is a 1-year review. Shocking. That's always going to do well, because that's what people, that's like the search term gold mine, you know, because people want to type in, like if they want to know more about a Sierra 450RL, they're going to type in Sierra 450RL review, and there it is. Then you get this video, which is what it's like to own that for a year. So then they'll click on it and watch. And this one has almost 40,000 views. And this one has $200 to my name. So that one being almost, actually less than half of what the Benelli video did. You can see that difference there, and that difference is most likely that this one was always monetized and then the other one was not. So I missed out on those initial ones, which probably would have increased it a lot further. Also interesting to note, this graph shows like the views. It might be different with other video types or other YouTube channels, but at least for the most part, like it will have like this initial peak, and then it'll kind of plateau and flatten out over time. But this video, I guess what the experts would call this an evergreen video, because people will always want to know what it's like to live with this bike for a year. You know, whether or not they're talking about the 2022, which I have, or maybe they'll be looking this up in 2025 when they want to get the 2025 version of this bike. So this is the example of an evergreen graph. So it's always, it just keeps going up, which is fantastic. It's great. It's one of those things that I can always count on this thing increasing views, rather than some of those other ones where it's like it peaks and then it just flatlines. I have quite a lot of those, that's for sure. Maybe we'll do another video on like my 5 worst. Then we get to my 5th one. This one actually has an asterisk on it, so this might be kind of interesting, because this one, I did a video on this second channel about this one, because this one was promoted with YouTube ads. And so as a result of that, oh, this is a very stark difference compared to the other 1-year review videos. $10. That's all I made from this video, is $10. This is a prime example of YouTube ads do not equal money. So these ones are clearly paid for. These were doctored, and you can see that in the video graph. Like this was pretty flatline, and then a spike, and now it's flatline ever since. It's not really gaining that much traction from that jump. And if we go down to the bottom with audience retention, you can see that that is just dismal. It is 4.9% of the video has been viewed. And you can see the graph here of audience retention, and it just took a dump. And then by, what is this, the 1 minute mark, it's like non-existent. No one is watching this video after a minute. But just for kicks, we're gonna go with the 6th one, a bonus one, like if I hadn't done the YouTube promotion. And this one is actually doing really well. I'm really happy about this one, because this one is less than a year old. All of the other ones, with the exception of the foot peg video that I advertised, are over a year old, and some of them like 2+ years old at this point. This one has months in it, not years. And so this one's doing really well, and this is the introduction. Again, introduction videos and review videos, like time frame videos, always do well. And this is a Mototech 48-volt Pro electric dirt bike. Wow, so this one is doing gangbusters. It is, since it's only been up for months rather than years, and it's already at $231, this is doing better than the 1-year review of the CRF. And look at this graph. It just goes and goes and goes, and it's just like, it's almost like a perfect line. Like, it's not exponential, but it's a perfect line, and that line is, it's got a slope to it, so it's increasing all the time, which is awesome. So gotta love that. It's probably gonna make me some money in the future. But yeah, that's my top 5 videos and how well they do view-wise versus dollar-wise. And it's not necessarily the case that high view count equals high dollar count, as you can clearly see. So hope you learned something about this, and I will probably, now that I think about it, also do another video on the worst videos, worst performing videos on my channel. So just look forward to that. It's probably going to come out pretty soon. Bye.